Welcome everyone, Math 105. We're working on section 2.5 today, dividing fractions and mixed numbers. So in order to divide fractions, we're going to need the concept of the reciprocal. A reciprocal is a fraction flipped over. First example, we got this fraction 2/3. We're going to want to flip it over, take the denominator, put it on top, numerator goes on the bottom, 3/2. Now reciprocals keep their sign. Keep that in mind. Your turn number one. Find the reciprocal of -3/8. All right, reciprocals keep their sign, so if it's negative, the reciprocal is negative. 8 goes on top, 3 goes on the bottom. -8/3. We can also find reciprocals of whole numbers if we remember that they can be written as fractions. We can write -5 as -5/1. Now we have a fraction to flip over. That means the reciprocals mean keep the sign, 1 goes on top, 5 goes on the bottom. -1/5. Your turn number two. Got the fraction 1/7, flip it over, we got 7/1, and that can be written as just the number 7. So here's why we need the reciprocal. When we divide fractions, we're going to convert to multiplication. We do that by changing division to multiplication and taking the first, that's not right. There we go. All right, so we take that fraction and we flip it over. Don't change the first fraction. That's the biggest mistake I see in this first step in division problems, is flipping that first fraction over instead of the second one, or sometimes people will flip both of them over. But we only want to flip the second fraction over. Now, once we have it in this form, it's multiplication, we solve it just like we did last time. First example, convert to multiplication, first fraction stays the same. Change division to multiplication, flip this fraction over, we get 5/2, and then multiply straight across as usual. 3 times 5 is 15, 11 times 2 is 22. Your turn number three. All right, convert to multiplication, take that second fraction, flip it over, and I'll multiply straight across. 7 times 9, 63. 10 times 8 is 80. And that cannot be reduced. Next one. Now there will be times, just like with the multiplication problems last time, where we can do some simplifying before we do the multiplication. Notice we have 5 here and 25 here. So we'll divide both of those by 5. And then with 8 and 16, we can divide by 8. All right, so that turns first one into 1, 1, 16 divided by 8 is 2, 25 divided by 5 is 5, and now we're just multiplying by 1s across, so we get 2/5. Your turn number 4. We can simplify here. We've got a greatest common factor of 8. So we'll divide both 16 and 24 by 8. And common factor of 25 and 35 is 5. So we got 2 here. Got a 7, a 5, and a 3. Multiplying straight across, that gives us, no more cancellations here, so 10 over 21. Subdivisions are going to involve whole numbers. Keep in mind, you can always write those as the whole number over 1. Alright, now that we have a fraction there, we can convert to multiplication. So that gives us 2/9 times 1/3. Multiplying straight across, we got 2 27ths. Or turn number 5. Alright, we get 4 is 4 over 1. Convert to multiplication, flip that fraction over, multiply straight across, and we got 3 over 28. Works the same if the whole number is in the first position, except we aren't going to flip that over. We're going to flip over the second one. Right now we have a common factor here of 8. So I'm going to divide 24 by 8 and 32 by 8. So we got 3 here and 4 here. And that gives us 21/4. Your turn, number 6. Alright, right to 12 is 12 over 1. Convert to multiplication, flipping that second fraction over. And now between 12 and 18, we have a common factor of 6. So we'll divide both of those by 6. That produces 2 over 1 times 11 over 3. Multiply across then, we get 22 on top and 3 on the bottom. 22/3. Now we've got some special cases to talk about, division involving 0 and 1. So first one is dividing by 1. Now 1 can be written as 1 over 1. And then convert to multiplication. We're flipping that second fraction over, not the first one, but it's still the same fraction because it's 1 over 1. And then when we multiply straight across, Oh, we're right back where we started. So, just like with multiplication, dividing by 1 produces the same fraction. All right, next up, we're going to take 1 and divide by fraction. All right, we're still going to write 1 as 1 over 1 and convert to multiplication. This time we're flipping over the second fraction, and then we multiply across, we get 5 over 4. So notice now when we take 1 and divide by a fraction, we get the reciprocal. And with zeros, the first one is exactly what you might expect. Oh, there we go. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to write 0. Remember, any number can be written as 0 over 1, and that includes 0. Convert to multiplication, flip the second fraction over. Let's see what we get. 0 times 5 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 0 over 4 equals 0. So, taking 0 and dividing by any fraction gives us 0. Okay, let's try it here. So now we still have that 0 that I want to write that as a fraction over 1. Convert to multiplication. And then multiply straight across. But here we got a problem. You can never divide by 0 in math. That produces an error. You can try it in your calculator, you get an error. Alright, so this is known as undefined. It doesn't give us an answer. We don't know what it is. So, undefined. So if you take any fraction and divide by 0, just like with whole numbers, undefined. So make sure you know the difference between 0 divided by a fraction and dividing by 0. Dividing by 0 always is a problem. Next up, we're going to include mixed numbers. When doing any operation with fractions, we have to first convert to improper fractions. So let's get rid of these mixed numbers. So this is going to turn into 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So that's 13 over 4. Divided by 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 9 over 4. Now we'll convert to multiplication. Remember, only convert to multiplication after changing your mixed numbers to improper fractions. All right, now we've got 13 over 4 times 4 over 9. The 4s are going to cancel, turning into 1s. Keep in mind, whenever you cancel, that turns those numbers into 1s. 13 times 1 is 13. 1 times 9 is 9. 13 ninths. Go turn number 7. So converting this, we've got 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So that is 8 thirds divided by 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 thirds. Right, convert to multiplication. The 3's cancel, multiplying straight across, we get 8 on top, 13 on the bottom. 8 thirteenths. Next example, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So that changes to 21 fourths. I'll do 2 times 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. 21 eighths. Converting to multiplication. Alright, flip that second fraction over. Now the 21s are going to cancel. And we'll divide 8 by 4 and 4 by 4. Do you get 2 over 1 or 2? Your turn, number 8. First fraction, 1 times 8 is 8. Add on the 7, we get 15. 15 eighths. Divided by 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So that is 15 fourths. Convert to multiplication. Right now the 15s are going to cancel. So that gives us 4 over 8. Divide the top and bottom by 4, and we get 1/2. Next up, we got 4 and 7/12, and we're going to divide by 5 and 5/8. 4 times 12 is 48, plus 7 is 55. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 5, 45. Convert to multiplication. Alright, now we've got some simplifying to do. We've got 8 and 12, those have a common factor of 4. 55 and 45 have a common factor of 5. So that'll produce 11, 3, 2, and 9. Multiplying 22 over 27. Your turn, number 9. Alright, so we're going to convert these to improper fractions. We got 5 times 6 is 30, plus 5 is 35. 35 sixths. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 7, 25. Ninths. Now we got a common factor of 5 here, and between 6 and 9 we have a common factor of 3. So that gives us 7 over 2 times 3 over, let's split the 5, over 5. Multiplying 21/10. Next example, 3 and 7/15 divided by 1 and 1/25. Alright, converting. 3 times 15 is 45, plus 7 is 52. And that is 52/15. And over here we got 1 times 25, plus 1 is 26. So it's 26/25. Now we'll convert to multiplication. Alright, we have a common factor of 5 here, and here 26 divides evenly into 52, so we can just divide by 26. Alright, dividing here we get 2, and here we get 3. And we get 5 here, and 1 here. So multiplied produces 10 over 3. Your turn, number 10. Three and 1/8 divided by 5 and 5/24. Right, convert the first one. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So that's 25/8. Divided by 5 times 24 is 120, plus 5 is 125, and 24 on the bottom. Converting to multiplication. Alright, now common factors. Looks like we have a common factor of 8 here and 25 here. So we'll divide by 25 and divide by 8. And 125 divided by 25. Okay. Got a 1 and a 1. 3 and 5. So we're just multiplying by 1s, so we get 3/5. All right, now let's look at some applications. First one, your turn, number 11. Mowing lawns. A student has a business mowing lawns. It takes an average of 3/4 of an hour to mow a lawn. How many lawns can be mowed in 8 1/4 hours? So determine the operation and figure it out. Alright, so what we're doing is we're taking a workday of 8 1/4 hours and splitting it up into equal blocks of 3/4 of an hour. So when we take any whole and split it up into equal pieces, that is division. So we're going to divide 8 1/4 hours, full workday, divided by how long it takes to mow lawn. Alright, let's convert this. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. So we got 33 over 4, and then flip the second fraction over as we convert to multiplication. Alright, now we've got some matching 4s, so those are going to cancel. And we'll divide 33 by 3 to get 11. So in one workday, the student can mow 11 lawns. Number 12 is about carpentry. The actual width of the 2x4, it's not actually 4 inches, it's a little smaller, 7.5 inches, or 7/2 inches, which is 3.5 inches. So how many 2x4s would it take to fill a space that's 94 1/2 inches wide if they're stacked right next to each other? Alright, so we're taking the whole space and we're splitting it up into equal sizes, so that is division. So we're going to take the size of the space and divide by the size of one board. Now we'll convert this one, so 94 times 2 gives us 188 plus 1, 189. So that's 189 halves divided by, flip that over, 2 sevenths. Now the 2's will cancel, turning into 1's, and so that gives us 189 over 7. So that's how many boards can fit. But that's not a very meaningful number, so let's convert to either a whole number or a mixed number. Alright, 7 goes into 18 2 times, 14, subtract to get 4, bring down the 9, 7 goes into 49, 7 times. So that means 27 boards can fit. Number 13, trucking. A trucker is trying to determine how many 3/8 inch pipes will fit on the rig. The width between the sides of the trailer is 96 3/4 inches. Determine the number of pipes that will fit in the rig. So we're taking the whole width of the rig and dividing by width of one pipe. Right, let's convert this first. 96 times 4 plus 3. So that's 384, add on the 3, that's 387. So this is going to change to 387 on top and 4 on the bottom. And we're going to multiply by 8/3. Now let's see here if we've got a common factor of 3. So we're going to use our 3 trick, add up the digits. 8 and 7 is 15, plus 3 is 18. 18 is divisible by 3. Therefore, 387 is divisible by 3. So we do have a common factor of 3 between those two. And 4 of 8, we have a common factor of 4. So we're going to do, let's see, 387 divided by 3, 4 divided by 4, 8 divided by 4, and 3 divided by 3. Now I'm going to have to do this, 387 divided by 3, 1, subtract, bring down the 8, 2, 6, 27, and 9. So we got 129 there. Over 1, 2 on top here, and 1 on the bottom. So what do we have? 129 times 2. Let's see, if we do 130 times 2, that's 260. Subtracting 2, we get 250. Oops. 8. Over 1, 258. So keep in mind, all answers to word problems have to have 3 parts. Number, units. In this case, the unit is pipes, and they'll fit in the tray. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a great day.